This riff revolves around that really cool alternate picking technique, the really quick alternate picks that I like to call galloping. And we've got like a thrash metal style gallop here. We're gonna jump right into this, guys, but real quick, my Patreon supporters, you guys have the backing tracks in the tabs, so don't forget to download those. And guys, you wanna hang around for the end here. We're gonna have our usual guitar chat, and there's some cool information about this little riff that you're about to learn. I'll share that with you as well. Let's start out by playing the riff out in the open, and then we'll break everything down note for note. And the cool thing is there are not a lot of notes in this. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about this particular riff. There's actually some other stuff that comes after that part. We'll talk about that at the end of the lesson here. And of course, I'm going to show you all of that later. So hang around till the end of the video for that. And of course, our usual guitar chat. But there are only 4 notes that we're playing here. So let's break this down the easy way. I love breaking things down and just simplifying things right from the beginning because it just makes everything easier. You know, we're playing a lot of notes here, or it sounds like we're playing a lot of notes, but really, again, only 4 notes. So these are the notes. Obviously not in that order, and of course we're picking things a little differently here. This video is all about the thrash metal galloping, which is just a killer technique. But I just want you to get that up here first of all, okay? There are only 4 notes. That really breaks everything down and simplifies everything, okay? So that's it, 4 notes. I am in standard tuning, as most of you already know. But what we're doing is we're just playing the open string. That's part of our notes there. And then we're playing the 2nd, 3rd, and the 5th fret. So that's all we're doing to get this sound right here. Now this first part is pretty simple. It's just the galloping technique in itself on that open E string there. And guys, all the gallops is just picking back and forth, 1, 2, 3. It's just like a 3-note little pattern there, back and forth, alternate picking. If you're new to galloping, okay, if you're new to this technique here, check out my video on galloping for beginners. Go watch that and then come back and watch this video. That will help you understand and really nail down the technique. For the rest of us though, let's keep moving on here. So what we're doing to start out is this right here. What I'm doing is the galloping technique, okay? 1, 2, 3. I'm following that up with one downstroke palm muted, okay? Everything's palm muted, by the way. Okay? Again, gallop, downstroke palm mute, gallop, downstroke. Then I'm going to gallop one more time before going into the rest of the riff. So let's do this. Let's make this an exercise, okay? I'm just going to kind of hang on this little concept just for a little bit here. I want you to play along with me. Now, if you want to rewind, I guess we don't rewind these days, but if you want to go back to that part in the video that we just did and just practice that over and over, feel free to do that, guys. Pause video or just go back a little and play along with that, or just pause it and practice that. Remember, gallop followed by a downstroke, gallop followed by a downstroke, and then a gallop again. That's what we're doing here. Even better, if you want to set a metronome in your studio, or even better than that, use a drum program. I think I'm using Easy Drummer 2. I need to upgrade to 3. They've had that upgrade out forever, and I've yet to press that upgrade button yet. In any case, though, just do that. Set the BPM. This is at 141, but set it to whatever you're comfortable with, and just go over that. Of course, you'll branch out and start coming up with some other cool stuff, which that's really my agenda for all these lessons. I want you to come up with your own riffs. Take what I'm sharing with you and then branch out and see what you can come up with. All right, let's move on to the second and final part of this cool riff. Now again, we're only playing 4 notes here, guys. I want you to get this in your mind, like just get it in your mind that it's only 4 notes. I want you to simplify it up here first, okay, like we talked about earlier. Simplify it in your mind first, and that's going to make the path of actually doing it on guitar a lot easier. I think that's going to help connect everything together because a lot of it's up here, okay? So we're starting out on the 5th fret. And this is pretty simple. We're alternate picking all the way through this, by the way. Alternate picking with some palm mutes, and we're going to go 5, 3, 2, then back to 3, okay? After that, we're going to go to the open string, and we're going to hit that open string a few times there, 1, 2, 3. We're actually going to do the galloping there, and then we're going to go back to the 2nd fret, then we're going to go back to the open string, gallop again, and then we're ending on that F power chord there. So let me just play it through regular speed, then I'm going to slow it down for you, okay? So let's do that. That's the riff, guys, and again, all we're doing is just keeping that alternate picking hand steady, like going back and forth. It's kind of a, if you think about it this way, it's kind of like just a really nice rhythmic pattern that we're keeping. This part, your picking hand, your alternate picking, that part kind of has to stay steady and stay in the rhythm of what you want those notes to sound like. And of course, you know, bringing in sync both hands so that they create that sound, well, that's part of this whole thing. And guys, all I can tell you is these types of riffs, they just take practice. And here's the important thing. I don't want you just to learn this riff. Yes, I want you to learn the riff. That's great. But I want you to really start branching out. Once you kind of get this down, and I'll just say this, and some people will disagree with me, but even if you don't nail this riff note for note exactly the way I'm playing it, you've got my permission to not do it that way, because I believe you can write something better. And okay, there's another subjective word there, better. The thing about music is, you know, this is an art form, guys. It's not a competition, you know. It's only what you're doing. You have to like what you're doing. You have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to appreciate your own work, appreciate your journey. Now we're kind of getting into our guitar chat here. We'll touch on this a little bit more in depth in a second here. Before we get there, though, I want to play this riff for you one more time, and then we'll talk about the song that this is part of too. Guys, it's time for our guitar chat, but real quick, if you do not have my free metal riffs and licks practice guide, grab a copy of that. There's a link in the description of this video. That has literally helped thousands of guitar players over the past few years since I've had it out there. If you already have my practice guide, then hey, check out my metal guitar courses. I've got one for beginners called Metal Guitar Apprentice. I also have one for intermediate and above called Metal Riff Master. The links to all that goodness is in the description of this video. I want to reiterate what we've just talked about at the end of the lesson, guys. If you don't learn this note for note, if you don't play it exactly the way I played it, I'm okay with that. I want to give you permission, not that you need my permission because you don't, but understand, guys, that music is not a competition, okay? It's not a competition. It's not about I can play faster than that person, or I can do this, or I can do that, and you can't, and look what I can do. It's not really about any of that. There's not a winner or a loser when it comes to music. And I think that's what I love about playing guitar and what I love about singing and just, you know, in general, just music in general. I love the fact that it's not a competition. It's only about your art. You have to make sure that two things, that your music, what you're playing on guitar or any instrument or singing, what you're doing speaks to you, and it also speaks through you, because this is very personal, guys. Playing guitar is very personal. We all have different styles that are just wanting to come out of us as we play. Now, I want to be very careful in saying this. This is not an excuse to be sloppy. Don't play something that just sounds like a bunch of gibberish and say, well, Jason said I just need to play my own style, be my own guitar player. That's true, but don't use that as an excuse not to practice. Don't use that as an excuse to be sloppy. I don't want that for you either. I want you to strive to be better, to bring the best out of you, to be the best guitar player and best version of yourself that you possibly can. As you go throughout that journey though, give yourself the ultimate amount of room for your natural style to flourish, to come out. That's what I want for you. So again, make sure that your playing is speaking to you, okay? And that's also speaking through you. So again, if you don't learn this note for note, if you don't play it just like I did, that's okay. But I want you to take it to another level, take it to your own level. You may be hearing something in those notes or towards the end or even towards the beginning. It's like, okay, well, Jason did this, but I hear something else. I'll use a strategy that Jason taught me here, or this riff that you're showing me. I'll use this, but I think if I go here, it might be a little bit better. Well, do that. By all means, please do that. That's what I want for you. Now, the riff you just played, the one you just learned, that is actually part of a song, and the song is something that I wrote for Blackstar. So, sitting behind here, and I know a lot of you saw this video already, and thank you for watching it, by the way, you see the Blackstar HT Venue MK3 amplifier. This baby is a 100-watt head powered by EL34 tubes, 3 channels, 1 really nice clean channel, 2 overdrives. I also have the matching 412 cab to go with it. So I've been having a lot of fun with this amplifier. If you didn't catch the video, the complete overview, I've got that on my channel here. I also have the song, if you guys didn't catch the song that I wrote for this amplifier. I'll put these videos towards the end. We're about to end this right now, so go catch those videos. I actually wrote the song of the riff you just heard. Well, that full song is on my YouTube channel as well. It's just a cool metal instrumental I wrote for them. So anyway, that's where this little riff came from. I'm gonna have part 2 of this riff coming up next week, okay? So the next lesson I put out there, I'll have the second part to this riff. It's got some cool galloping features in it, actually a little bit more galloping than this one, so stay tuned for that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it helped you, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep it metal.